Hello, and welcome back to the Web Dev Coach, where my goal is to teach you web development. Today, I wanted to try something new. I figured Svelte is the new hotness, it's the new hot framework. I wanted to learn it, and I figured I'd learn it the way I best learn, by teaching. So I'm creating a video to get started with Svelte. In this video, I'll get started with Svelte on our local machine, so I won't be using any web embedded IDE or anything like that. Then I'll start going into Svelte basics here, and those basics will include attributes, dynamic attributes, you'll see what I mean by that, some styling inside nested components, and then we'll go on to reactivity. And what reactivity is basically like state in React. So let's get started by downloading Svelte on our local machine. Here we are at svelte.dev. What I want to take away from here is this. This is how we get started with the Svelte project on our local machine. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this command, npx dget svelte.js/template my Svelte project, go back to my terminal, and paste that wherever you keep your projects. With the magic of YouTube, I'll be right back when everything is installed. Great, it looks like everything is installed, so let's go ahead and cd into our Svelte project, run an npm I, and after that npm I will run npm run dev. Again, magic of YouTube, we'll be back after it's installed. Once you're finished running npm run dev after everything is installed, you should see this written inside of your terminal. Let's go ahead and go to localhost 5000. Let me drag my window right into the view, and you'll see the Svelte hello world. Now let's go ahead and open up our VS Code, and I'm actually going to have this look like that, so it's side by side with our code. I'll open my Svelte project right there, and you'll see the Svelte code written on the left here. Let me zoom in for everyone watching. Okay, great. That's our Svelte code. In case you're wondering, the VS Code extension that I'm using for my Svelte code in VS Code, it's just Svelte. Svelte language support right there. Now, I know what you're thinking. Here on the right side, it says hello world. Meanwhile, in the code, we're using a variable called name. Now, the export in the script here is how Svelte defines their props. So, export used to define props in Svelte. A little bit different from what we're used to in regular old JavaScript. So if we go to our main.js, you'll see that world is passed into props. However, I do not want to go over props in this video, so I'm going to actually delete that here and just have name be a regular old variable. So I'll comment that out. So let's say name equals the web dev coach. We save that, and we'll see on the right our developer server refresh, and it says, hello, the web dev coach. Now, we can also use these variables as attributes in our HTML element tags. So, for example, if I have a const called link to website, and that's the URL of my website, thewebdevcoach.com. Yep, a little bit of promotion within my video. Cheesy, I know. So we can add an anchor tag here on the bottom. Take my link to website, put href equals link to website in brackets, and on the right you'll see this become a hyperlink. When I click it, it'll actually go ahead and go to my website using the href that we defined in the variable. All pretty cool. Now, what we can also do is not have this double href equals link to website. but we can rename this into href, have a bracket around the attribute, and it'll work almost like JavaScript destructuring, in which it basically becomes href equals href, and just works, which is amazing. So again, if we click hello, the web dev coach, we'll go to my website. Now the next thing I want to tackle is Svelte's approach to styling. So you'll see here a very simple approach to styling. It's what you're used to with regular old CSS. We can say font size equals 36 pixels, and on the right side you'll see that the developer server is updated to a bigger font size. Additionally, we can create a new component using Svelte very easily. So let's create a new or example component dot svelte, and in this example component we'll have a script tag. Let copy equal hello from the other component, and here on the bottom we'll have a regular old paragraph tag that has the copy. Now, of course, this won't do anything to our development server here on the right. We need to import the example component into app. So here at the top, we'll import the example component from example component dot svelte. I probably should have named it something shorter. And here on the bottom, we'll write out an example component and close it just like that. Now we can save it, and now you'll see on the right in the development server it's saying hello from the other component. Now I also want you to notice that I can write, let's say, a paragraph here, hello from this component, style the paragraph, let's make it red, save it, and the styling of the paragraph tag does not leak into the other example component. Notice we have a p tag here, but the copy here is not red. Only the hello from this component paragraph tag is red. So if we wanted to style, so again, styling is basically within the component. If we wanted to style the example component paragraph tag, we'll do it from within example component. So let's say the color is aqua. On the right side, our development server refreshes, and the other component's paragraph tag is aqua. Lastly, I want to go over reactivity in Svelte. Now, most viewers will know reactivity as a state in React. So, to get started, I'm going to actually delete all the example code I have here, and I'm going to create a variable called count, and let's display this count right down here. So here we are with a red 0 because it's a paragraph tag, and I actually want a button with a plus sign and a button with a minus sign, and those will increment and decrement count respectively. Now let's write two functions. One function to handle the plus, which will take count and increment it by 1. Another function to handle the minus, and that'll just decrement count by 1. Here, to attach a function to a click listener on a button. Of course, we'll expand on this later on in this video series, but just so you know, it's on :click equals the handle plus function. And very similarly, for the minus, it'll be on :click handle minus. Okay, let's save that and take a look exactly what happens. We press plus, and our count increments by 1. We press minus, and our count decrements by 1. It's that simple. If you're listening for a count here in the template and count changes, that'll be re-rendered into the view. Now, lastly, I want to go over a quick something. We'll have a variable called double, which we'll say is count times 2. We'll start count at 1, and let's see, to the right, you'll see 1 and 2. Now, when we press plus, you'll see that count increments, but double does not. And that's because we need to tell Svelte that double should also be re-evaluated whenever count is updated. To tell Svelte to re-evaluate double, we need to put in a $sign and a colon. That'll tell Svelte to re-evaluate double whenever a count is updated. Now, on the right, once we save, you'll see that incrementing count and the double variable works as planned. That's it for this video. If you want to continue learning Svelte ahead of this video series, go ahead and go to svelte.dev/tutorial. And it'll be a all-encompassing tutorial of basically all of Svelte, everything you need to know to learn the framework. I'll go over that tutorial little by little within this video series, but until next time, please click like, please click subscribe, please leave any questions that you may have in the comment. Please tell me how much you love this video in the comments. Please tell me how much you hate the video in the comments. Whatever you want, I want to hear from you. This is the Web Dev Coach signing off. Peace.